What's up, Taiwan? Good evening. I'm Erika Liu with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. U.S. Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi has left Taiwan after a whirlwind one-day trip. She's now in South Korea, but in her wake, she left the country contending with China's anger over the highest-level visit of a U.S. official in a quarter century. Philip Broussard reports.
U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's plane takes off from Songshan Airport in Taipei on Wednesday evening, the end of a one-day trip by the highest-ranking U.S. official in 25 years. It was a packed itinerary. She met first with Taiwan President Tsai Ing-wen in a show of what she called female power. Tsai thanked Pelosi for coming to Taiwan and lauded her democratic credentials, which includes long-standing support for human rights in the region. Pelosi has been an outspoken critic of China's human rights record and its aggression toward Taiwan, which Beijing claims as part of its sovereign territory.
而这20多年来，佩洛西议长也一直持续关注台湾的民主发展，并且长期支持台湾的国际参与。我要对此表达最诚挚的感谢。
But Pelosi was here, she said, to express her unequivocal support for Taiwan's democracy.
And now more than ever, America's solidarity with Taiwan is crucial, and that is the message we are bringing here today. We will not abandon our commitment to Taiwan.
China had warned there would be consequences, and it is now laying out what those are. Some have already taken effect. In the run-up to Pelosi's visit and during her trip, Beijing banned thousands of imports from Taiwan. And it's promised more punishment, announcing plans for live fire drills in waters surrounding the main island of Taiwan. A move the Defense Ministry says violates United Nations rules and essentially blockades Taiwan. In response, President Tsai says the drills are unnecessary and that Taiwan is open to constructive dialogue to maintain peace in the strait. Pelosi also met with other local legislators from across the political spectrum, as well as top officials from Taiwan's semiconductor giant TSMC. And finally on her schedule was a visit to Taiwan's National Human Rights Museum, where she met with activists Li Mingzhe and Lam Wing-ki. Both men have previously been held by China for their pro-democracy activism. Pelosi has been an outspoken critic of Beijing's crackdown on Hong Kong's freedoms, a city Lam fled due to his activism against the Chinese Communist government.
这些我希望美国政府是可以伸出援手，帮这些反抗的年轻人。
Pelosi's visit has made headlines around the world for its significance in anticipation of China's reaction. But the Taiwanese public's response has remained largely muted, with Taiwan walking a fine line between garnering support from allies while keeping Chinese aggression at bay. Chris Ma and Philip Broussard for TaiwanPlus.
Moments after Pelosi landed in Taiwan, China's military announced that it would be conducting military drills around the island, with some of the drills even intruding into Taiwan's territorial waters. Jaime Ocon has the details.
A reaction from China was expected. Just moments after the U.S. House Speaker landed on Taiwan soil, an announcement from Beijing. The People's Liberation Army will be conducting live-fire exercises around Taiwan. According to the Chinese military, the drills will begin on Thursday and last until Sunday. They would be held in these 6 regions, 3 of which intrude into Taiwan's territorial waters. The closest region is just 9 nautical miles from the coast of Taiwan. It's not unusual for China to conduct military maneuvers to flex its muscles when dignitaries visit Taiwan. Taiwan's Ministry of Defense, in anticipation, announced it would raise its combat readiness level ahead of Pelosi's visit.
国军运用联合勤监侦手段，可以充分地掌握台海周边海空域动态，并以料敌从宽、御敌从严的态度，缜密整备各项计划，按突发状况处置规定，依敌情威胁派遣适切的兵力应处。
On Tuesday, Taiwan's military reported that 21 Chinese warplanes entered its Air Defense Identification Zone, or ADIZ. The group included 3 radar planes and 18 fighter jets that entered the southwest corner before circling back. China views Taiwan as a breakaway province and has vowed to unify the island by force if necessary. China frequently sends warplanes into Taiwan's ADIZ as a form of political pressure. But the latest exercises announced for Pelosi's visit are seen as an upgrade to the usual military response. It's part of the, quote, strong military response that China had threatened ahead of Pelosi's visit.
目前似乎没有出现武力犯台之前必须要有的大规模的部队集结、前推、物资、人力动员的这种情形。
Last week, Taiwan wrapped up its largest annual military drills, one of the biggest in decades, aimed at fending off an invasion from China. Relations between Taipei and Beijing are at some of its lowest levels, and while Taiwan always welcomes support from allies, it consistently has a wary eye on how its giant neighbor might respond. Klein Wang and Jaime Okan for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's defense ministry says Chinese military action around Taiwan violates United Nations rules. Defense officials say the live fire drills planned in waters around Taiwan intrude on the country's sovereign territory and amount to a blockade of its air and sea. Taiwan's military has raised its alert level and says it will counter any moves that violate territorial sovereignty. It says it will stay in contact with like-minded countries to avoid an escalation. The foreign ministry, meanwhile, called China's notice that aircraft should not enter drill areas a challenge to international order. The ministry also said the Republic of China Taiwan is an independent country and does not belong to the People's Republic of China. Beijing has announced a slew of new import and export bans aimed at Taiwan following U.S. Speaker Nancy Pelosi's arrival in Taipei. China is suspending imports of citrus fruits, chilled white-striped hairtail, and frozen horse mackerel from Taiwan from Wednesday. The government expects the bans to impact about $20 million worth of products. This comes on top of an import ban on thousands of Taiwan products announced by Beijing on Tuesday. China will also suspend the export of natural sand, a move that has worried Taiwan's construction industry. The country's aviation authority has said it will instruct commercial aircraft to avoid areas near an island marked for live fire drills by China. Fishing vessels have also been told to avoid these areas and to report any sightings of Chinese military. Display monitors at convenience stores and a train station in Taiwan were hacked on Wednesday to show messages opposing the visit of U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Customers at 7-Eleven stores in a number of cities were surprised to see screens showing the words "Warmonger Pelosi, get out of Taiwan." Meanwhile, a sign at a train station in the southern city of Kaohsiung was hacked to show a message that referred to Pelosi as an old witch. The message was written in the simplified Chinese characters used in mainland China. Police are looking into the disruptions, which are suspected to be the work of Chinese hackers. Taiwan's 18 and under baseball team has won the 2022 Pony Youth Tournament in Texas. The team from the northwestern city of Taoyuan defeated Laredo City 5-0 in the championship game. This is the 18 and under team's fourth title since 2012. Meanwhile, Taiwan was the runner-up in the 12 and under Pony World Series, losing the final to a California team. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally today, we leave you with images of the Summer Chess Festival in Lebanon. I'm Erika Liu. Take care and see you next time.
In a changing world, when voices are being silenced, TaiwanPlus is listening. We tell those stories. No compromise, no boundaries,
people in Taiwan.
no fear.
I want to study Chinese. I'm Ryan Kilpatrick. Capital Taipei. TaiwanPlus.
TaiwanPlus News.